Hey, y'all. I know it's been a minute, but back for another segment of Le Cordon Quarantine. So today, what I'm going to make, and this recipe today is something y'all are not going to believe. It is savory cornbread. And when I say that, I mean like you could just eat this son of a bunch by itself. So this recipe was given to me by one of my students years ago when I used to teach at night, and I used to teach law. And so I have my bacon on. I'm smelling my, okay. So this cornbread recipe, believe it or not, is so good. It has bacon in it. It's supposed to have country ham, but I was too damn lazy to go to the grocery store and get some country ham. So I'm gonna just put a little bit more bacon. It has broccoli, and it has shredded cheese, and it has ice cream. Yes, you heard me. Ice cream, which I forgot to take out the freezer, and I need to take out now. But this is a fantastic recipe, and it doesn't take much. So what we're going to do first is we are going to fry the bacon. Now, I would have put the bacon in the oven to get crispy, but see, that's what you guys don't understand. Sometimes it's not just the recipe, but it's the process. And so in this process, I actually have to use the bacon grease to cook some of the broccoli, which then goes into the cornbread mixture. So that's what makes it so flavorful and makes it taste so damn good. So right now I've got the bacon on. I'm gonna preheat my oven because it takes forever to preheat my oven. And so I've got everything out here. So I've got it. So let me tell you what the ingredients are. It is let's see, 1.5 cups of broccoli, which I kind of chopped out a little smaller. Okay, got that. Your sharp shredded cheddar cheese. Okay. I'm not doing real cornmeal. If y'all want to do that, great. I'm using Jiffy, the 2 boxes of Jiffy for this particular recipe. And then again, like I said, if you had the country ham, and then I gotta get it. And since I'm doing this, I'm gonna go ahead and get the ice cream to put in this lovely, lovely cornbread recipe. Specifically vanilla ice cream. So I got my ice cream out so it can just get a little teeny bit soft. You had to taste it and make sure it was okay. So you got your ice cream, 2 boxes of Jiffy cornbread mix, your 4 slices of bacon if you have the bacon, and the country ham, 1/2 cup of the country ham, which would have been chopped. But again, I don't have that, so I'm just going to put a couple more pieces of bacon in here. But I did do it before with the country ham. Oh my God, it's so good. And then you want 1.5 cups of broccoli, and then it's going to be 4 scoops of ice cream. So while the bacon is cooking, I'm going to turn this up a little bit. Let's just go ahead and empty out. So what we're going to do is we're frying the bacon, of course. Then we're going to take it out, put it on the paper towels, let it drain. But we're not going to drain the grease, because what we're going to do is we're going to chop fry the broccoli in the grease. And then we're going to actually take a little bit of, we're going to take all of the broccoli and a little bit of that grease. I know, but whatever, it's good. And we're going to actually pour that into the mixture. So while the bacon is frying, let me dump the 2 boxes. And I'm sorry, and it does also call for 3 eggs. So let's at least put that together while the bacon is getting all crispy. So you got 2 boxes of Jiffy cornbread. Break up some of the bigger chunks. Okay. And then we're going to add 3 eggs to that. All right. we're just going to pre-do this now. So that's 3 eggs that we're putting into this. Okay. All right. And we're just going to put that aside. I'm not going to put the ice cream in there as of yet. Okay. And we're just going to go back to checking on our, turn this up a little bit more. And any bacon you get is fine. So we just gotta, it's just gotta be crispy and crunchy. So we're gonna get this bacon all fried up so that we can then go ahead and cook the broccoli. So we'll check y'all back in a second. So the bacon's cooking up nicely, and oh, and then I'm going to do it in a 13 by 19 pan. Make sure that you spray it. And I'm going to wait a couple, maybe another minute or so, and then I'm going to go ahead and put the ice cream in there just so it can kind of be soft enough. But again, we're waiting for this. It needs to be, you know, real crispy, which I like my bacon crispy anyway. So it just needs to get really crispy so that you can kind of chop it up and put it in the mixture. Check y'all in a second. Okay, so our, ooh, I'm trying to get burnt. Hey, this is being recorded. I ain't got time to re-record it, so you're going to see all the mistakes. Anyway, bacon getting kind of crispy. I turned it down a little bit because sister ain't trying to get popped. But there are a couple pieces I can take out right now, I think. Nope, I need that to be crispier. I need that to be crispier. I need all of this. I swear, if I didn't have to put this on here to use the grease to fry the broccoli, I'd be baking my bacon so that it gets crispy, which is kind of what I do now. But we need this grease. We need this grease right here. That's what we need. So while that's still getting a little, I need it to be really crispy. Not burnt, but really crispy. Did y'all see that? I just sort of got popped just now. Well, one thing I hate is getting popped by bacon grease. That ain't cute. Woo! It's a popping, y'all. What's going on here? Okay, so now all the bacon is all crispy. We're going to take that off, and we are going to turn the fire down. And I do have them on some paper towels that we're letting them drain off the grease. So there we go. They're in there. While that's happening, turn the fire down a little bit. It is grease. I'm going to take it off. Meanwhile, while I'm doing that, I'm going to go ahead, and it's 4 scoops of ice cream. So if you don't have a scooper, just take a big spoon. So yes, 1. I know y'all can't believe this, but when I tell you it's so good. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 4. And the rest gonna be for meeting later. Yes, it's my ice cream. I'm the only one here. I can do that. Anyway, so while we're letting that cool off a little bit, we're gonna go ahead and mix this up. I'm gonna come a little closer. So we're gonna mix this. I'm using a whisk. It's kind of hard with the ice cream right now. I guess I need to let it melt a teeny little bit more. So that's what I'm gonna do. It's coming together, but I'm gonna let it melt a little bit more so it's easier to whisk together. Now this grease should have cooled off a little bit. And what we're gonna do is we are going to take the broccoli and chop fry it in here for a little bit. Okay? And that bacon grease is gonna give it a flavor that's just, oh, so good. Okay, so we're gonna put that in there for a little teeny bit. One thing I will say about that particular bacon that I use, it doesn't give off a lot of grease. Normally it would be a lot of fat in the pan, and so you drain it off and then you use some of the fat. But to be honest, mine doesn't have a lot actually in here. So what I would say is you are supposed to have some of the grease from the bacon that's going to go into the batter when you put the broccoli and you put the bacon in there. Not all of it, but you're supposed to put a little bit of it in there. Again, shockingly, I'm looking at what I have in the pan, and it doesn't seem like I have a lot of grease in here. So I'm going to definitely make sure that the broccoli is fried on up with this grease so that we can get some of that bacony flavor in this cornbread that y'all just can't believe is made with ice cream. So let's go back to the actual, there we go, that's better. So here we go, mixing it up. Getting it all mixed up here while that broccoli is frying a little bit. You don't want to fry the broccoli too long. Okay, so I'm gonna mix that up a little here. I'm gonna get some of that ice cream out of my whisk. Right here. All right, and I'll mix it up a little bit more, and then we'll come back to the broccoli and add it to the mixture. Okay, so I took the stove off because I think the broccoli is definitely chopped fried enough. And then I did crumble up the bacon into little pieces. So here we go. Let me try to get this. I'm going to take this off so it's not still cooking. I want you guys to be able to see this. So I'm going to try to put it a little closer. So you have your batter here, your bacon right there. And then, because I want to get some of the juice from this, I'm going to put the broccoli all up in here. Now, unfortunately, like I said, I don't have, I mean, if you look, you don't see anything kind of, I hate that. I wanted a little grease, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to mix this all up in here. The bowl might be a little hot, so let me see. Is it? No, it's not. I don't have to. So I'm going to mix this all up in here. Get it all nice and mixed up. And you guys can see that all nice and mixed up. And then now we're going to transfer this bad boy to the baking pan right here. I probably could have used a smaller pan because I really want them to come out thicker, but whatever. Get all of it, every last bit of it up in here. No waste whatsoever. Get all up in here. And although we have the cheese goes on at the very end. But if you're a cheese lover, if you want to put it in here with it too, and you got cheese in it and cheese on it, then more power to you. So let's try to even this out a little bit. When I tell y'all, this is so good. I know you like, yeah, well, whatever. Don't knock it till you try it. I used to always tell my son, you can't tell me you don't like something if you ain't tried it yet. If you tried it and you don't like it, then that's good. But if you ain't even tried it, I don't think so. That's old school. I ain't about with y'all folks and these young kids. Oh, I don't like it. And then y'all be like, okay, no, I don't think so. So there you go. It looks fantastic. And so we're putting it in a 350-degree oven. And I believe that we're putting it in there for 35 minutes. So in 35 minutes, we will come back and I will show you the finished product. So the cornbread is now done. My oven's weird, so I didn't put it on for the entire 35 minutes. I did 30 minutes, so that's how it looks coming out. Smells good. And this is the time when you're now going to put the cheese. Did I just drop some on the floor? All over the top of it, and kind of let it somewhat melt on it in the pan. So we're going to let that sit on there for a moment and melt. Then we're gonna cut into it so you can see what it looks like on the inside. So the cheese is melting a little bit, so let's now cut into this so you guys can see what it looks like on the inside. The pan's still hot, so I'm just trying not to. Okay, put that there. So voila, this is what it looks like. And if you can see it up close, oh my goodness, look at that. The bacon, the broccoli. Woo! I normally don't eat on camera, but I'm sure about to taste this. Oh my God. That's gonna be part of my dinner tonight. So, I hope y'all enjoy this. Don't sleep on this. Don't ask me what the ice cream does, but it does something to it. And I want to thank my student, LaShawn Bates. She is the person that gave me this recipe like 10 years ago. And I just found it and I said, I got to make this because this is so good. Literally, I could eat that like a couple pieces for lunch. That's how good it is. So I hope y'all enjoyed this segment of Lake Cordon Quarantine. Don't forget all my other stuff, the empanadas, the chicken and pasta, the oxtails, all of that stuff is on my YouTube channel, Delights by Dawn. Not only do I bake, I cook. So y'all can go on over there and you can always see the repeat of all the Le Cordon Quarantine segments that I have done. Next up is going to be a simple, easy, sweet treat that's really not that fattening. Check y'all later.